We're living in a post-emergency alert society.
I have to say, as I said, I was very unimpressed, and I found it to be kind of a flop.
There was too much warning, and it didn't feel urgent enough.
Not enough alert.
Yeah, I would have preferred a little more drama, a little more flair.
I know. I actually think it would be more vital to not tell anyone, as if it was like a real emergency, and like see how people react. I think that would be...
Give them a jump scare.
That would probably cause a lot of like accidents and chaos perhaps, but I think in a true emergency, there's no warning.
Yeah. If you're really trying to elicit fear out of the masses, which I do kind of believe that's what an emergency alert is for.
100%.
It's best practices when trying to incite chouse. Don't tell anyone.
America loves chouse. So I think America would kind of be like...
They love it, but like people get to choose. It's not just like total chouse at all times, which I am a huge fan of, just like 100% chouse. Like if it's going to go down that road, like let her fucking rip.
Wow.
That's my stance. Like I don't like sometimes some chouse and some chouse that's not okay. It's like it really fucks with me. I'm like very all or nothing when it comes to chouse.
You want like pandemonium.
Yeah, I just want like fucking Outback Steakhouse, no rules, just right.
Okay.
I don't want like...
That's American.
I don't want riots in the streets.
No.
But I want like just people saying whatever the fuck they want. Like I want like no rules.
You want
I want like people wilding out and just going like full blown loco.
You want people having like dance battles.
Yeah, I want like no decorum anymore. Just like utter
bedlam.
Yeah.
But without
not violent
destruction.
Bedlam. Yeah, I'm not talking about like civil war. I don't want that. That's a kind of chouse, like war-like chouse. I'm not a fan of.
Do you like chouse at like Target, like before like a storm, or like is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm not talking about.
Like,
I'm not talking about prepper. I'm not talking about like going to the grocery store and frantically buying hamburger.
You're talking
helper.
about like.
I'm talking about just like people going
hey, bitch.
fucking nuts. Yeah, like going to Starbucks and them going, hey, bitch, what do you want? And like, you're just like, what? Like, I want to be taken aback by how I want people to get really real. Like, okay. I think I want the rules of society and like politeness to cease, because I think that no one really thinks that anyways. Like, no one wants to be doing what they're doing. I would say maybe 20% of people like really want to be doing what they're doing at any given time. So I want people to just get like real as fuck about it.
I get that. I like the idea of like an uncanny moment of just being like someone just being like, hey, faggot. And
yeah,
you're like, oh, hi.
But not like aggressive.
No. Like another gay.
Not in trying to incite violence.
No. I'm talking about like a gay barista being like, hey, faggot to me. And I'd be like, hey, faggot.
Yeah. Like a familiarity I want like ultra familiarity and like honesty.
You want no boundaries.
I want like raw honesty, which I think is chouse.
You want like 3 a.m. conversations in the middle of the street at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's possible.
Or like morning time.
Yeah. But that alert was not chouse.
No, that was pussy ass shit.
I was expecting more, but also it is just to instill fear and keep us on our toes, which is such a government thing.
Yeah, I'm over it.
It reminded me of when the police were just like setting off like sonic booms during the summer of 2020 and just keeping us on our toes. It's that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not into it.
I need to give a shout out to this podcast, TrueAnon. I'm like deeply obsessed with TrueAnon.
Yeah, it's the best podcast in the game.
No, I didn't. I'm late to TrueAnon.
I like this podcast, TrueAnon.
No, okay. The seminal edgelord podcast, TrueAnon. I love their banter. They're like us in a parallel universe if we were both straight. And I'm just into I just love it. And I love the way they're like so researched, and I'm on a full Epstein spree right now.
Yeah, they're consummate professionals. They're at the top of their game in their chosen field.
I want them to come on our pod.
They're doing the damn thing.
They really are.
Weirdly, outside of like fighting in a war, Brace and I have had very like parallel lives.
Really?
Because he was a troubled teen who was sent to wilderness and therapeutic boarding school, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
So he knows like that whole drill.
And he's had issues with like addiction, right?
I think so. And so from like one troubled teen to another, I'm like, it's good to see. It's good to see a fellow troubled teen out there fucking dominating the podcast space.
No,
few of us make it this far, so it's like it's really good to see someone that's like doing the damn thing.
Yeah, they're so appealing, and like
few of us make it this far to talking into the void in their living room.
To West Coast, but their voices are just so good, and I love Liz's like cadence, and they're heroes of mine.
Yeah, they're great,
and they're so fucking funny, and I literally laugh out loud at the like Howard Stern-esque sound effects they chime in. Like
their sound effects, they're from top to bottom, it's an A+ show.
Like they mentioned that Prince, like
Young Chomsky, their producer.
Oh, he's incredible.
He's also a really good follow on Instagram.
Oh, I have to follow him.
Oh, he's posting lots of body pics.
Is he hot? Mm-hmm. Oh damn, okay. I love when he chimes in, but there was this one moment in an early episode where they're talking about how Prince Andrew allegedly like sold arms dealing to Gaddafi. And,
I'm sure.
And when Brace mentioned it, Liz just went, "Hold up, Gaddafi," and then you hear where from Kill Bill, and I was literally on the elliptical just heaving because it's just the way they do it is so good. I know I'm like late to it and they've been at it for a few years, but I'm obsessed.
Yeah. This podcast.
I know.
I love that. No, I love that. Don't say cut. We're keeping it.
No, I'm into it. I needed to just like shout them out.
I need to shout out this podcast, Otherworld. That's by Jack Wagner from Yeah But Still.
Yeah.
And I'm late to that one, but Caroline told me I needed to get on it, and it is so good.
Caroline.
Yeah.
Caroline, our girl. Mm-hmm.
I have an assistant.
Lara has an assistant.
We have an assistant.
Lara has an assistant that I get to witness being an assistant, and she's amazing. We love Caroline.
But I was listening to it because I've been cooking again, which is shocking. I truly didn't see it for myself, but I went to Italy and I realized, like, mamma mia, I got to get in the kitchen.
You did mention
I belong in la cucina.
Recently, you said I'm cooking. I'll text you in a bit, and I went, oh.
I know, it was a little curveball.
I went, wow, she's in the zone. Okay,
I'm cooking up a storm these days, but
it's accompanying your cooking.
Well, the thing, my thing when I cook is I listen to podcasts. That's why I really stopped listening to podcasts, because I don't have to drive many places. And so if I'm not cooking and not driving, I'm just sitting in silence. And so, or maybe listening to some music when I remember that I like music, but to discover a brand new podcast, and it's hard because I'm picky about the podcasts that I want to listen to, and to discover something that I now have 50 episodes of to really get into, I'm so pleased.
Well, I as a former guest of Yeah But Still, I know Jack was really interested in that video that you and I talked about, that we've talked about a bunch of times, about the ghost girl. Mm-hmm. So I know that he's super into that, and I feel like he's very well researched with all that. So I'm really excited to listen.
He did. I love his passion for it, and him finding people to tell their stories is really cool. And he brought up an interesting point, which is that, because he's been doing this podcast for a while, but he was when people are going through a really dark period in their lives, I've noticed a parallel between having supernatural experiences and going through personal or dark, low energy struggles. And I was that makes a ton of sense. And I think he's onto something, and uncovering deep metaphysical secrets via this podcast. And this podcast we speak of. And I'm like, he's doing something really important.
He might be a genius.
I think genius confirmed.
No, that makes sense to me because my friends used to say that they thought my apartment in Brooklyn when I was going through addiction was haunted, and I think I was like experiencing paranormal something. And I think
you open the door to that when you're having like a deep psychotic struggle.
Yeah, and I think when you're
in Slim Jim Toggles era, the ghosts come a knocking.
No, and I think when you're like self-destructing like that, like you're sort of close to death, and I think the veil is lifted a little. So I think I invited in
it thins out
demonic energy.
The demons are like, hey bitch. We went in on this.
Hey queen.
We went in on this. Can I get a bite of that Slim Jim?
Let me get that Slim Jim.
Hey, I know you have a Slim Jim under your pillow. Can I get a couple nipples off that?
No, it was literally like I looked down and it's on the floor going, you know. I was possessed. Our friend Renee, our mutual friend, she said she believes I was possessed by a demon. Mm-hmm. And I think I was.
Some people believe addiction is like a demonic possession. It is in some ways.
I mean, it's, more than some ways, but that's an interesting theory. I'm gonna tap into that. I love having like,
you'll get freaked out. I just kept thinking like, whoa, Carrie's gonna be freaked out by this.
I love it. I love like just a huge desert filled with oases of podcasts content
I know I need more podcast recs because I'm committed to my protein focused lifestyle, which requires me to do a lot of cooking. So anyone else, now that you know what podcasts I like, Otherworld, True and On, Tim Dillon's
so good. Sorry, don't say it. No, and the one you told me about that I was really into earlier this year was about the girl who like catfished her cousin.
Sweet Bobby. That was incredible. Think about that all the time. Honestly, would love to meet Simran or for Simran's story to be told because I'm a fan.
She should be on the pod. You know who else I want on the pod? Bedbugs from Paris. Paris has been hit.
What's the deal with the bedbugs in Paris?
So I guess it's been hit hard. The mayor said no one is safe. The deputy mayor said no one in Paris is safe. It's not only hitting hotels, but it's like everywhere in the city. People are reporting.
How did this happen?
I don't know. And like Fashion Week, are they going to bring them back to LA and New York? That's what I worry about.
Well, did they bring them there? Who brought them there?
I don't know. But
they're everywhere. I need more details.
I'll read. Hold on.
I found it. A widespread bedbug outbreak is taking over Paris during Fashion Week.
No one is safe.
The transport minister, Clément Beaune, has vowed to reassure and protect the public by convening a meeting of public transport operators to establish countermeasures. They're across public spaces. There's a widespread outbreak of bed bugs across public spaces in the capital.
Cinemas, the airport, on the trains, on the metro. And they're all very worried because next year is the Olympics in Paris, the 2024 Summer Olympics. So they're expecting tourists to flock to the city next year, like obviously in the millions and hundreds of thousands.
Is it Summer Olympics?
Yeah, I think so.
When are they?
Next year, 2024.
But like what era of the summer?
It's always in August, end of July, early August, and then it's like for like a month. But they're trying to eradicate this.
I hope these bed bugs take down the Olympics. Honestly,
fuck the Olympics.
I'm over the Olympics. Who cares? And who needs them?
Well,
best of luck to the athletes. I love that for them, but I'm also like, enough is enough.
But I mean, the Olympics causes a lot of havoc in the cities. Like when they're already planning to like down in LA where it's going to take place in a few years, like they're already like going to.
We're already in Olympic mode here. Olympic fever's already hit. They're like, we'll finally have stopped construction on LAX by 2028.
According to the. Oh God, they're flat parasitic insects. I didn't know they're flat.
Yeah, they're flat. I love that you don't know anything about bed bugs.
Well, that's just... I mean, I lived in New York. I'm well aware that bed bugs are like...
But I know like...
I don't know
so much about them. Like. I know what they look like. I know like what... I've been in a hotel once where there were bed bugs.
No.
Yeah. Where? Extended stay.
Oh, of course.
But... Yeah, I know. It's like I know what to look for, the dropping, like everything.
I guess they basically disappeared from France in the 50s. The rise in global travel accessibility led to a surge in the 90s. And 3 years ago, France launched an anti-bedbug effort. A telephone hotline? Oh my God.
That seems really like, what good is that going to do?
11% of French households last year were experiencing bed bugs. That's like a tremendous amount. Wow. Adding
that such occurrences were not linked to wealth. Bed bugs are not classist.
No, that's like I was kind wondering, of the lice.
Yeah, I was wondering
thing.
Like why, because when I was traveling this summer, I saw these luggage wrapping stations in the airport where you like pay and then someone just wraps your luggage in like saran wrap from head to toe and then sends it. I was like, what is this about? Like I just bugs. Truly didn't understand. And then I asked my friend, she was like, pests.
It's like, it's actually kind of like biblical.
Yeah.
It's medieval.
I think that we'll probably experience more like bug infestations.
Because of like rising temperatures?
Probably, or just like there's just so much bed bugs. Like it's like such a travel thing, I think. They hop on your clothes, they travel, they love to travel. No one loves traveling more than bed bugs.
They take our France.
They are truly like, we're all heading to Paris for Fashion Week. They're really chic, honestly.
I know.
That's like a really chic time of the year to go. They're like Aspen in the winter, but Paris first.
PFW.
PFW. We're jetting right down to Cannes afterwards for a quick romp, and then we're going to go hop and swing London before heading back to New York.
Oh, I'm sure they love
I'm going to be in New York for Christmas, Rockefeller Center.
Happy Christmas from New York. And they send postcards.
No, I'm into like, where will the bed bugs pop up next?
But it is, I think, just also like the crumbling infrastructure of like just the planet in general. Like every city is going through like kind of a flop era right now. I feel like that will just lead to
Except I think Rome is really...
Rome?
Rome seemed like it was not flopping.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Roma. I would probably say it's safe to say there's bed bugs in Roma.
I think there's bed bugs everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're always at risk.
Bed bugs everywhere.
But I wanted to get back to like the supernatural talk because I became aware of a woman who says that she had sex with a ghost every night for 20 years, but she dumped him when she saw he had fangs in the face of a gargoyle.
She was a Colombian woman.
Paola Flores from Colombia claims she had sex with a ghastly spirit.
She's had sex with multiple ghosts in her life.
She has fucked this ghost for over 20 years. Her relationship started when she was young, and that the frisky ghoul visited her every night while she slept.
Every night?
She claimed that he always initiated it, and she ended up falling in love with the charismatic specter, even enjoying a 20-year-long passionate fling with him.
Wow, that's a lot of work to be fucking every night for
that
20
also
years.
Feels like you fell in love with your rapist a bit.
Yeah.
If a specter comes to you at night
demanding sex
and you feel like it seems like it started out semi unconsensual. Like he groped her and she was like, okay, but then fell in love with him.
She's been a little like Stockholmed.
A little bit, but then it took 20 years, but then she saw the light. And she said, one day I was lying down when I felt the hand move from my feet to my chest. It was strange. I was scared. From that moment on, he started coming to me like a spirit to have sex with me. So he really came on too strong. Then she fell in love. They fucked for 20 years. And then she saw his face. She said he was a very big man. But the day I caught a glimpse of him, he had fangs in the face of a gargoyle.
That's like that moment in Rosemary's Baby when she's like, this is no dream, this is really happening, and you see Satan's face. It could just be also like a man coming into her room.
But then she also said the last time I saw his face was when I didn't want to continue. But I'm like, how are you fucking someone for 20 years? The dick must be really good. If you're like, I don't even need to like look at your face. I don't need any sign of like what you look like.
Just give me that ghost dick. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, also it could be like a metaphor for something. Like
yeah, but also like it's like was she going through 20 years ago, or what was going on around her that like the veil thinned and then a demon came to
demand sex
and
every night for
court her
almost a quarter of a century.
A psychologist said Paula's case is not at all common. In fact, demonic cases are extremely isolated. But then a parapsychologist said her account is credible, and he said that she was probably in a relationship with an incubus.
Oh, not a succubus, an incubus.
An incubus is a demonic entity. It is a lower astral entity, and we describe all those that look like maggots as low vibrational. I don't know
what does that mean? Like
they specialize in grabbing people and taking their energy.
I know a lot of people like that. Mm-hmm. I'm actually like I'd say a good 1/3 of people in LA are incubus.
I'd say 3/4.
Oh wow, emotional vampires,
incubi.
That's pretty wild. I love that she
was like, I'll bite.
You would think like it would be almost like a Beauty and the Beast thing where she's like, I still love you no matter what you look like.
No, she said,
get out of here, gargoyle.
My love has limits. You're hideous.
Her love is conditional.
You would think that an incubus could also just be like, I'll be hot now. I'm a shapeshifter. Maybe
that's part of their curse is like they can't change forms. They have to remain like a burly gargoyle.
I like that this guy said they take the form of a maggot.
That's
I don't
disgusting.
love that.
So I don't love that. Don't love that. Wait, really? Speaking of real, Lara discovered today, which I already knew this, but Lara was shocked to know that Grimes and Elon's third child, a girl, is named Sadrael.
Well, their daughter, the middle child. There's a daughter named Exa Dark Sidrael. Or otherwise known as Y. I just like
Tech Mechanic is the
after
new
they
one.
had a
XAE.
Yeah, after they had a kid named like Beep Beep Boop, I was like, I'm done following.
You've looped out.
I was like, love this for them, but like I can't take this on right now. Mm-hmm. So like go with God. Mm-hmm. But then reading today, Exa Dark Sidrael, I was like, wait, that's cool.
Sidrael.
I want to name if I ever am to have a child or get another dog, I'm gonna try and do like a AE.
A little elvish.
Something in their name will be like that. Like maybe it won't be common knowledge, but if I just spell it out, it will be like that. Or it'll be like part of their nickname.
Grimes is suing him to get custody of their kids, which...
She filed a petition.
Yeah. It's a messy, messy scene.
Yeah.
Speaking of Dark Side Ale, let's talk about what we're here to talk about.
Let's do it.
I'm Carey.
I'm Lara.
And you're listening to
Sexy Unique
Sad Rail.
Salty Utah. Meredith and Seth are dining and recapping the horror-filled weekend in Palm Springs.
Is Seth just in a blackout at all times? He's an alcoholic.
After watching this scene, I was like, Meredith locks Seth's dick. Don't you think? He's having Locktober right now.
By the way, thank you we had a really good conversation on Patreon about it. There were some people who were experts in locking. Really school us in a non-aggressive way.
I learned a lot about locking, and I also decided to do a little research of my own. And I watched some locking videos.
You did.
I watched some like doms doing their locking. And I learned about like the washing, because that was my biggest thing is I'm like, how does one wash their lock?
You just
you
take
just
it
soap
off
and
to
water.
Wash. Yeah.
Or you can take it off to wash. But if I was the key master, there would be no taking off.
They have to find a way.
You need to wash. Yeah.
Get a toothbrush in there.
Yeah, figure it out.
I really like think this is a journey that you should go on.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Seth is like, what happened? And Meredith goes, I'm still digesting everything that went on.
She goes, so we get to the Trixie Motel. and then they cut back to them arriving and Angie being there as a surprise. So Meredith just recaps what happens. But Seth is like, he's so drunk. He's always drunk.
Really?
The last 2 times we've seen him in this season,
he's been having a little sip.
He's been like, hey.
I just think he's locked. But maybe I'm conflating the two. He goes, what the frick is the rumor about her? And that's when I was like, his dick is locked up.
Or he has like a vibrating butt plug up his ass right now, and Meredith has a little remote, and every so often she's going.
She reaches in her pocket and is like.
He's trying not to speak so much because he's gonna go like that. Mm-hmm. But Meredith also had a bottle of sparkling water with a little lemon or a little orange in it, and I thought for a second she was drinking a martini and a glass of wine, which I was like, that would be cool.
That would be a coup.
Mm-hmm.
Get a little both.
He might also just be on edibles.
Yeah, he might also just be, like getting into old age. You know, some men just become like dogs, not in the sense of
they become like docile.
Yeah, they just get docile over time.
It's for the best.
Mm-hmm. Baby girl Lisa goes to a facial place to meet Meredith to get facials.
I'm actually very moved by their sisterhood returning because they actually get along so well when they're together.
I love them together, but I also do get the sense that Meredith is having to like kiss the ring, or she knows that it's in her best interest to like align herself with Barlow.
I do think that Lisa cracks Meredith up more than anyone on the show.
Yeah, she's legitimately the funniest person.
So it's like this thing where you go and get your face scanned, and they do the best facial based on like your skin type.
You go get your skin photographed, and you have to become a jack-o'-lantern head, and then they're like point out your like horrific skin to you, and then they're like, "We're gonna fix this. We're gonna do everything we can." Lisa
goes, "This is better than when I went tanning." She goes, I got banned from the tanning salon in Park City. And Meredith's like, what happened? And she goes, well, I came in there for an event and I said, I want to be tan right now. And they said, you can't, you've done it too much. And I said, I want to be tanned.
They said it was closing in 30 minutes. And I said, let me tan. No, let me tan. Let me tan. And they wouldn't. And she goes, it escalated. And then I got an email.
I got an email from corporate saying, thank you for your 8 years of patronage, but no longer will you be allowed to come. And Meredith just dies. I'm
obsessed. I think like it's important to be like banned from certain spaces.
If I ever saw Lisa freaking out at someone in public, I would hope that no one would like Karen her and we just watch and wonder.
I would intervene on her behalf and I'd be like, no, you don't understand. You need to let her do whatever she wants. You need to give it to her.
You'd say, let her tan.
Let her tan. No, you don't understand. She needs to tan. Let her tan. I hope that Lisa is exempt from Karen.
Yeah.
Like she can't be.
No.
Because she's not. But like if anyone sees Lisa Barlow in distress, you need to immediately insert yourself into the situation as backup, but you need to do it with a Lisa Barlow voice.
Imagine
a chorus of Barlows.
Yeah, like not only you, me, but like a man, like the post office, like a postal service person walking in, a guy like who's kind of like this very like typical straight guy. He turns and goes, no, let her tan. And it's like a hive mind.
Please let her tan.
Please let her tan.
No, we need her to tan.
We need her to tan.
It's like Minions, but
yeah,
just Lisa Barlow voice instead of like a Minion appearance.
And the tanning salon employee is just like she's like lost in like a chorus of like, let her tan, please let her tan.
You must overpower whoever's trying to ruin Lisa's day. And then use collective strength to get them to bend to baby girl Lisa's will.
Lisa is able to control, like, with a hive power.
She is a queen bee of sorts.
Yeah, we all become her drones. Seeing them get facials is very soothing.
I like that Lisa didn't take off her eye makeup.
Lisa was also very distressed to be in. She hates anytime her face is like not exactly how she wants to do it. She sees her picture in the machine and she goes, I don't like that. I don't like that. Oh no.
She sees her jack-o'-lantern head and she goes, oh my God.
It was a weird, it looks weird.
I was like, I'm getting a facial. I made some moves and I'm gonna get one. It's a real power move on a facialist behalf, like to make such an unflattering angle and then point out all your flaws and be like, we're the only ones that can fix this is very like sub-dom energy.
Monica meets Whitney at a bar restaurant to have a little lunch. Her life is Chow's.
Who?
Monica.
When she says that everyone lost her dog, I was like, you need to get a handle on your life.
Whitney goes, how are the kids while you were gone? And she goes, well, my dog was lost, but because of the internet, you can report dogs missing now. She was found the next day. I was like, what?
I think like
what's going
when
on?
Some dogs are like escape artists and they want to escape, but I really do think that like
It's a cry for help.
When there's like something bad afoot with a pet, it's a sign of like a much larger dysfunction.
Sometimes they want to be lost.
Sometimes a dog yearns to be lost. Like everyone knows a dog that is like just gonna run away, but like not all dogs. Most dogs want to stay. And most dogs want to like be around you and live. So like if something's happening where that's like not the case, then we should all be examining that.
This dog was seeking to be extracted, I think, from the Monica household. I don't know her last name.
Yeah, me neither. She's just Monica.
Monica period.
Monica period is a really good name for her. Whitney tells Monica that her behavior
Whitney orders her food and she goes, I will try your burrata salad.
I will try the burrata and pear.
And Monica goes,
love it.
I love Cajun. I'll do some Cajun. I was like,
what is this restaurant?
Okay.
So then Whitney tells Monica, her behavior was a bit of a red flag for me in Palm Springs.
It makes me doubt you as an investment in a friendship.
Monica's face during that was like this.
I know. Whitney's hair extensions are wild. She's just she's
the wild rose.
I love it.
The wild rose keeps you on your toes because you never know what corner she's going to be turning next.
I will say this conversation was tense, but they handled it very well, I think. And I think Whitney is going through a lot of therapy right now.
Yeah.
She's
a little too peaceful for my taste. As you guys know, I want Chouse. I miss the wildest rose.
This is a setup. This is a fucking setup. But I miss,
when in doubt, be wild like a rose. I miss that. And I think that she needs to heed her own advice.
Wait, can you flip your hair down and then fully in your face and then say that again?
When in doubt, be wild like a rose.
I think she is like medicated.
She goes, just be careful. Be careful with Meredith.
She goes, what I think is you are throwing Angie under the bus because you are trying to curry favor with Meredith and Heather. And I would be careful with both of them because it always comes back to you. Meredith will dig up dirt on you and she will threaten you one day. Rest assured.
Is Meredith just like being an attorney? Is this like what it's like to be friends with like a power bitch attorney woman in your friend group?
Anticipate,
who's like a little bit volatile.
It's like you need to always be anticipating something when you're friends with Meredith. It's like when that Scruff profile that's haunted me for years where the guy was into police role play, which red flag, and he goes, if we hang out there will be raids, anticipate a raid. because it will happen.
Wait, like a lot of people will raid?
I don't know what he meant, but he said like there will, like he wrote with a cap, there will be raids. So like, and you don't know, his thing was he was promising people that were willing to meet him in that role play, they would never know when the raid would happen. And I feel like that's kind of Meredith's energy. You never know when the ambush will come.
I'm obsessed with this guy.
Oh, I was visiting, this was 2013. I was visiting LA and I was on the east side near Los Feliz, and I was on Scruff, and this guy was like this daddy, and the Scruff lets you do like novel size.
This is very like 2013 vibes.
But
I'm sad for him that nowadays he probably can't be as open about his police fetish.
ACAB got his ass. But
that sucks for him.
But I love, and that's kind of Meredith's vibe. She's like, there will be like an inquisition.
There will be disabled children.
There will be disabled children.
And there will be dirt.
There will be dirt.
Monica thinks that Angie and Meredith have something deeper than any of us understand, and it's going to blow up. I was like, what are you speaking of?
Whitney goes, I don't really know what you're talking about. And then Monica goes, I feel like I am making a lot of sense right now.
Okay, I'm going to say this. I really don't like Monica. Like, she's irking me.
Yeah.
But I think she's doing really good on Housewives.
Oh, I think for a newcomer, she's getting an A for her. This is like great first season. She's young. She's not afraid to rile people up. She's poor, in quotes. She's, well, what? I mean, like, no, poor in the way I'm poor.
She's so poor that she has to go to Louis Vuitton and buy a bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's slaying, I think.
She's killing it.
And then Whitney goes, Meredith, this is just like what she does. She goes, why can't Meredith have a normal hobby? Go to yoga, collect trinkets.
That's a good question. Then we have like a fake scene where Justin is going to go back to work after being out of work for a year. And
like, try 3 years.
We're meant to believe that like this is the first time he and Whitney have had a conversation about like parental responsibilities with him going back to the office.
She got him a Superman cake.
Then no one ate it.
She goes, Justin has accepted a new job. So now we are both working parents.
He had a non-compete for 1 year, so he did not work.
Yeah, right.
But now he's back in the workforce.
I don't believe that.
I'm obsessed with her daughter, Justina Bobby, or whatever her name is. Her blowout.
Oh, Bobby
was unreal.
I'm obsessed. I said this redheaded queen.
She honestly needs a Pantene contract.
She does.
Yesterday.
She's going to be a firecracker.
She is hair to the gods.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to tell people I haven't had a writing job like in a while because I have a non-compete.
Just say you're in a non-compete.
Yeah. I'm gonna start I think we should all just start using that. Mm-hmm. Whitney's feeling slightly on edge because no sooner did Justin accept the job did he begin assuming gender norms in the household.
Yeah, but I just think this conversation, I'm like, this is planned and weird, and this is like do better.
Whitney's very worried that there's not going to be enough parental guidance around her kids because she's worried that her daughter's going to get
that. I was like, okay, I'm in to have this conversation, but dividing up like parental roles or being like, you think you are not going to do school drop off? I'm like, you're what? Like even he looked confused. He was like, why are we
talked about this last week.
Yeah, like we've already discussed this and there's not a problem. But
oh, you don't think you will be doing drop offs?
When I saw this scene, I said, this is a setup. This is a fucking setup.
But we see a picture of Whitney as a cheerleader. It made me sad. And she said, when I was a teenager and Bobby's age, like a tween teenager, I was experiencing something that no one knew about because my parents, my fucking Diane Warren ass dad was like, oh God,
yeah, she wasn't around.
She wasn't around. Her mom doesn't sound like, I think her mom was like a good Mormon woman and like probably like didn't want
to.
She
was at Tabernacle.
She was at Tabernacle. So Whitney was like clearly getting like sexually abused, which is what has not been said out loud, but I think that's...
Poor Whitney.
Do you think that's what she's talking about?
Yeah, or just like getting like falling into bad situations, hanging out with the wrong people.
Yeah.
Poor Whitney.
She's worried about the Bobby. I think Bobby's going to be just fine.
Yeah, that hair.
No one's going to fuck with Bobby.
I wouldn't fuck with Bobby. I have nothing but respect for my queen.
I'm just obsessed with Angie and her husband's bed. It's literally the size of my old apartment.
There's so many things. It's the size of this room.
It literally is.
It literally is the size of
from your stairwell to
the wall.
Yeah.
That's
to
the size
wall.
of their bed. But there are things in their house that I'm like, excuse me, like their daughter's room has a fireplace in it.
Yeah, I was like, wait, does she sleep in the living room?
No, she just has a bedroom with but then I was like, there's a door open and it looks like the dining room table is right there.
Maybe she sleeps on the ground floor.
Maybe she was like, I want my bedroom in the living room. And they were like, okay.
All right, Electra.
But I was like, that is a real power move.
I love that her name is Electra.
Electra, and having a fireplace in your room is the huge dream of mine.
Being named Electra and having a gay dad is like
the dream.
The dream of every
a gay
girl.
Hairdresser dad.
Yeah, who's hot.
And a fireplace in your room.
And a mom who looks like a Egyptian.
You are now
mask.
Like the queen of your school.
Yes.
And even if you're not, you're the queen of life.
Just
because if everything is going to be great.
Her husband... Angie's kind of like, I put all of my love and my affection towards, bless you, towards Electra, towards being a mother. So like my husband and I basically haven't fucked in years.
Well, also you have the biggest bed.
Yeah.
It's hard to crawl over to his side and get on top of him.
You have to schedule time. You have to take a Disney World monorail.
You don't even know if he's in the bed or not. You got to get your binoculars out and look to the other side.
Get on a Nickelodeon. No, you have to literally take like a monorail from Disney World.
You need like an extending like arm.
Tomorrowland.
You need like a big thing to extend it and go, hey, over there, like poke and see.
You have to like vertical limit climbing Everest.
You have to rappel over to the other side of the bed.
There are 2 climates in that bed.
Yeah.
There's 2 times. There's a different time zone in that bed. Oh my God. It's unbelievable.
Well, also, and I say this is someone who like gets the bulk of their physical contact from their dog. Which is great. It's like wonderful to cuddle with a dog at night. But there's something about like a full-size poodle sleeping in the bed that is a little bit like demonic to me.
Oh, a
like,
poodle with dyed fur? I'm sorry. I don't like when people dye their dogs.
I don't like it either. I think it's weird. But like... I wouldn't necessarily think that about like a golden retriever or like... Poodles are like, they're
demented.
human.
I'm sorry.
Like, I feel like at any given time, all poodles could stand on their hind legs and just start speaking English.
Yeah, they are.
Like,
they're all British men.
They're like, we think like we're getting all this like alien news right now, but really they walk among us. And like a poodle, like I feel like full size poodles will one day just stand upright and be like, it was us all along.
Take the scene in Signs where the alien walks out of the hedge and replace it with a poodle walking on its hind legs.
But there's something just like...
There's something not right about them.
It's just something that's not right.
I say this as someone that grew up with a schnoodle, you know?
Oh, schnoodles are different.
Poodle mix, great.
Poodle mix, very different.
On its
Miniature
own?
Poodles, very different. But like a full-size poodle... Ooh. But a full-size like black poodle, I would trust that. I would like have that around. Yeah. But it's like a full-size white poodle.
Something's not right.
Even like I don't even know if like a gray poodle. I'm like, you can't have that in the bed under the covers.
But his husband, Angie's like basically, my husband's not going to use needs met, and I was like, I'll meet him.
You and all the rest of the men in fucking Utah.
I'll get in line with the other ones.
Yeah, get on Grindr.
Yeah.
You're about to be in Utah. You should see if he's on Grindr.
Maybe I should. I mean, I'm sure I could probably from that distance, even though it's like 100 miles away.
Yeah, you're going to get every gay in a 100-mile radius. Heather and her daughters hit the slopes.
I kind of blacked out during this.
They're cute, but the TLDR is like one of her daughters is getting bullied and Heather feels bad.
They're being passed notes apparently that say cunt because of the mom's book. So I'm assuming that these are children of like devout Mormons in the school.
But are you allowed to even say the word cunt as a Mormon?
Well, all religions are about hypocrisy. So
I know, but like, I feel bad for her daughters, but I'm also like, moving along.
Yeah. I was like,
next scene.
I went like this.
I'm like, that's a wrap on the daughters.
We've got a wrap. That's a wrap on Heather.
But I was being inspired to have a ski moment. And I thought for the first time in forever, I was like, maybe I need to go skiing this winter.
I do think Heather looks very powerful on the slopes. I like her. She's like a queen of the slopes, and I'm like very.
She's
inspired.
Looking great.
She looks amazing.
Her skin is like glowing. I like that one-on-one look with her big old Gucci corset pouring out of a corset. She's very like Locktober in that corset.
Yeah. Lisa's hosting the girls for an Après Vida Chalet moment.
She says Après.
Chalet.
Après no ski party.
Vida. It's a Vida Tequila moment at the Chalet.
She's strolling around in the hugest fur coat and she's looking at all the decorations. She goes, it looks so good.
Maybe we all just like, that's our job, is just going, it looks amazing.
No, I was like, when we were doing our photo shoot, I was like, I was kind of channeling Barlow, like just trying to be like, this is what it's like. You get glam and then you just are in charge of things. And I was like, this is the energy I'm trying to bring into like Q4 and beyond is very much like, it looks so good.
I don't like that. Move that over there.
Delegating and being like really like in awe of your own thing.
I like the idea of being like a sought after event planner, but all you do is just go, which I guess probably is like
you have a team.
That
you
looks
work
good.
Really hard until you get people and then you go move that there and move that over there. Oh, it looks so good.
Looks so amazing.
She goes, there's a byproduct to working hard and that's called money. And she's not apologizing for the money that she's gotten from working hard.
Lisa,
and I love that about her.
Lisa is a full supporter of capitalism. She's a full Republican.
She works hard and she's going to spend her money the exact way she wants to spend it. And if she loses a $60,000 ring, she's going to be sad about it. And honestly, I support it.
Meredith exits her car and walks out in like a kind of cream sweater number,
like a little Valentino guy.
Full Suspiria. I feel like whenever she's walking up to something, I feel like the world to me slows down,
especially since she's wearing a cape
and she just goes that's what I feel like. I'm on benzos when I'm watching her.
Yeah.
Are they doing a shot ski because it's like Andy Cohen?
And I think they're in a ski lodge.
Well, I know, but like, do you think it's like a little?
Probably. Couldn't be me, but love and light for them.
Mm-hmm. Angie looks like Cyclops from X-Men in these sunglasses. She looks she's giving Jen Shaw a little.
I know. She is picking up where Jen Shaw left off. I wish she would take a page out of a different playbook because it's already been done once and we all have collective PTSD from Ms. Shaw's exploits, but c'est la vie. The Après Vida party is underway and Lisa walks out and goes, wow, everyone looks so beautiful.
She also goes, she does like a countdown to everyone taking a shot and she goes 1 1 1 2 2. The editors give her an echo. I'm like, what? They are really just having fun with these women.
She goes, get something to toast with. We're toasting. Get something to toast with. And then she gives a toast and she goes, be who you are, be who you want to be.
Love.
Cheers. And then they all toast. But I love her. I love her so much.
Heather uncorks a champagne and she goes, I learned this as a missionary in the south of France. I want to know about that.
Well, you got to read Bad Mormon.
I don't want to read it.
I know. Monica goes up to baby girl Lisa, and Monica's getting a crepe, and
didn't love this.
They had a little chat, and it starts off fine enough where Monica's like, I'm sorry I got a little prickly with you in Palm Springs. And then Lisa's like, I don't like where you took it after the prickly. I don't like where you went post prickly. And she's like, well, sorry, but you're fucking materialistic. And like, blah, blah, blah. And Lisa goes, read the room. Everyone here is materialistic. It's like, touche.
Okay, I'm just going to go on a little screed. I'm just like, Monica, I'm kind of like, stop pretending you're like a democratic socialist. Like, you're literally like, if you could, you would be materialistic. So stop pretending like it doesn't appeal to you.
Also, doesn't she drive a Range Rover?
Yeah, I think she's just like full of shit and a jealous hater. I'm sorry.
Welcome to life. Everyone's materialistic.
Read the room, honey. And then as they're fighting, guess who walks in? I have a video of it.
Well, Monica goes, Lisa fucking, like, I'm so sick of her. Like, she said, like, I ran into her once and she said she was getting on a private jet with Snoop Dogg, like, blah, blah, blah. And then they get in this big fight because Monica said that Lisa said that she was on a private jet with Snoop, or wanted to be on a private jet. And Lisa said, I've never said that. She goes, if I wanted to hang out with Snoop Dogg, trust me, I could hang out with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, she said they were in an airport and Lisa was like upset about a delayed flight and went, oh, I could be on a private plane with Snoop Dogg right now.
And she goes, I've been on lots of private jets, but never with Snoop Dogg. I would never say that.
And then, yes, lo and behold.
With one wispy bang.
Wait, watch. Mary comes sauntering in a, looks like she's wearing a,
I feel like she's wearing like a full like Burberry or like Bottega look.
It looks like she's wearing a purse though. Like,
yeah.
She's like in a handbag.
Mm-hmm. She goes, Lord have mercy. And someone goes, Mary, I love your outfit. Like, what is it? And she goes, I don't know. And then she sits down.
She sits down with Monica, and Monica's like, hey, Mary. And she's eating her crepe, and she goes,
First, Lisa and Monica finish their little tiff. And Lisa goes, I feel like you're judging me without getting to know me. But like, can't you just get to know me first and then judge me? And Monica goes, that wasn't my intention at all. And then Whitney goes, can you honor that is not her intention? And then Lisa goes, well, sure, we have different interests, and my interests are more expensive than hers. Fair.
She's very real. I like her saying, can't you get to know me before talking shit about me? Like, I think that's like, that's all you can hope for in this world.
It's very Gwyneth Paltrow being like, what do you want me to pretend like I'm someone who makes $25,000 a year?
Did she say that?
Yeah.
Love.
Which is like, do you want her to pretend like that?
I wish people... I mean,
this is the kind of chouse I'm talking about, is like honesty, because that incites like absolute chouse in people because they're used to just being bullshitted all the time.
I'm sick of all these celebs like Sophia Richie Grange saying, how do you get through Fashion Week? Water. No, you have a driver. I wish she could just be like, have a driver.
Well, it's also like,
be rich.
Stop with enough with the publications being like, how do you get through? Like, it's like, shut the fuck up. Why don't you ask an interesting question for once in your goddamn history of being a publication? Like, do something interesting. Mm-hmm. No one cares.
No one cares.
Be provocative for once.
We're in an era of non.
No, but I am saying Q4 is about being fucking provocative. If you're not going to provoke or usher in a provocation,
you can go outside.
Get the fuck out of here. There's no time.
If you have to cry, go outside.
Yeah, that's the energy of Q4. We're almost at the end of the year. Where'd the time go? There's no time left, and now it's time to provoke.
Where'd the time go?
It is.
We have 2 months left.
I know.
For Chouse, and it's 80 degrees.
So then Mary, sits down next to Monica and she goes, what are you getting? Monica goes, a crepe. And she goes, ooh, crepe.
She goes, you like to eat.
You eat a lot.
You eat a lot. I was like, God, I love her.
Every time I see you, you're always eating.
She's just like this. She's literally like this, like, baby empress. She's kind of Diana didn't slay as hard, obviously, but the way Diana sort of like was almost like carried around like a giant egg that was like this precious
like
egg.
Young Princess Diana.
No, like Diana Jenkins from Beverly. Like the way she kind of like moved through the world, like sort of this like china egg that everyone holds up. Do you know what I mean? Mary is the same way. It's like she doesn't really like. She's just this.
She's stiff
Dowager. Mm-hmm. And
she goes, do you ever eat vegetables?
Good question.
I like her trolling.
Remember when she said Jen's aunt should have eaten more healthy and she would never like scoff?
I mean, where's the lie?
Damn.
Where's the brutal honesty? Mm-hmm. It takes you far.
But everyone's like, I like that everyone has agreed that Mary can just do whatever the fuck she wants to do.
She's untouchable.
You can't say anything. And it's
she's
almost
God.
Like, she's almost reached a point where like when she says that to you, it's almost like out of love. Like it's almost like she's talking to one of her lamb, her what is that? Her flock.
It kind of is though.
She's like,
she is someone who rules by negging. Mm-hmm. It's like negging and you'll probably never be able to do anything right, but it's coming from a place of disgust, but also caring.
Yeah. And like Monica, I do think to her credit, she takes it in stride. She's like, yeah, I know. I like to eat a lot.
I could watch them interacting a lot. Like I like that duo because Monica has like a modicum of respect for someone for once in her life. So she's like being respectful to the queen and kissing the ring. And I like to see that. I like to see her have a shred of humility.
And Mary looks at Monica. Oh no, is he okay? And Mary looks at Monica as if she's like a vagabond on a train in the 1900s. She just looks at her like she's a full hobo, and I'm just really into it.
I hope no one ever shows Mary the house that Monica lives in.
Well, she'll see it now.
I think I would love. I need like a camera on Mary at all times. Lisa's getting a Vida cocktail getting poured by like down the ice luge by the bartender, and she looks at it and she goes, it's so beautiful. What's in this one? As though she didn't like make up the recipes herself.
I know. Wild Rose approaches Monica and she asks her again, what do we think Meredith was threatening to expose about Angie K?
She goes, it's time to really talk about the rumors. And Monica's like, are you sure you want to know the rumors? And she's like, yes, please tell me, what could it possibly be? So
the rumor is that Angie's husband fucks men.
Monica goes, her husband fucks other men and they have a total sham marriage and it's open and he steps out all the time. And Whitney goes,
no. Oh, the gay panic. I love it.
No, that's not right.
No, I can't hear anymore. Don't tell me anything else.
No. I'm going to throw up. I love someone. If someone told me that someone's husband was gay, I'd be crying laughing. Like my reaction is so 180 degrees opposite from.
You'd be like, hell yeah.
I'd be like, oh my God, that's amazing. Like get him over here. Let's talk to them about it. And then I would not be like, tell me that someone's husband is gay. What's the secret?
Her husband is gay and fucks other men.
No.
I know. He has a whole line. He has a rotation. They come on over and they do rainbow roofs on his dick.
No.
Yes.
No.
They all wear different lipstick and blow him.
No.
She goes, I feel as though I'm going to throw up. I was like, my God, I love the idea of a man fucking a straight.
I was like, this is the best case scenario.
I think a lot more women are like, I don't know. I think there's probably a lot more women than we know that are into that, but other women are probably a little still like.
I'd be like relieved. It's like not
no,
I thought it was going to be some sort of like criminal.
No, I know, but it shows you where they live. They live in a very, even though like they're a little more progressive, these bad, they're a bunch of bad Mormons, they still are like, that's like a big shock.
I love that that's the ultimate taboo still.
No, not gay sex. Oh, you mean to tell me?
No.
Sodomy. It's like sodomy in their head. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Then we just cut to a brief interlude with Heather and Mary, and Mary still hasn't moved from the seat that she sat down in originally, and she looks at Heather. She goes, Heather, what made you want to wear that necklace? And Heather goes, I don't know. I like it. Matches the champagne. It had like earrings that match. And she goes, you totally missed it on that one.
And Heather goes, again, another evidence of like Mary. It's not, I think at first I was like, she's a horrific, like, and she probably is evil in many ways.
I don't think so.
But I think I've grown to just realize that Mary is simply just like, this is her love language is negging. And I think Heather sees that. Monica sees that.
She's an important figure to have around it, and it's good in a housewives ensemble to have someone whose sole job is to refuse and also like
keep people on their toes
and keep people humble.
Yeah, she humbles.
And that's
what God does.
But that's like the producers need a refuser because they're trying to come up with some bullshit for people to have to do.
Yeah.
So it's really refreshing when someone just refuses and the producers can't get what they want. Mm-hmm. So she's keeping them humble. And then she's also keeping the other women on the show humble.
I'm telling you, it's like what God, this
was God's plan.
God negs.
God finally got on board with the housewives and was like, you know what? I've watched New York, I've watched Beverly Hills, but now I'm going to send one of my chosen ones to participate in RHOSLC. Mm-hmm. And
God says RHOSLC.
God said RHOSLC.
Also about Meredith spreading this rumor, Whitney goes, as a strong ally in the community and her connection with GLAAD, I expected more than her. I'm like, okay, GLAAD is the only, it's like, when they think of LGBT, they just think of GLAAD. I love that. So then Angie, they go, I must tell Angie. She must know. And
it's time for Angie to know the truth.
We also cut to Angie and she's sitting alone, typing on her phone, going, what is she saying? She's like on Grindr with her husband.
She's like, ooh, you should fuck him.
Yeah.
So Whitney takes Angie to the Vida Tequila ice luge, and she goes, take a shot, take a drink, you are going to need it.
She goes, it is time. I want to be nipping this in the butt. And Monica goes, don't you mean bud?
And Angie goes, it doesn't matter, like, get over it, like, let's move on. And then Whitney goes, tell her. And Monica goes, well, the rumor is that Sean likes to fuck other men. And then Angie
okay, I will say, not who cares, obviously, but she's not helping the case of like that this is fake. Her reaction is it's so fake.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh no.
She goes,
wow. My husband and I have been together for 27 years. I think I would know.
Then she says, Meredith said that Sean's boyfriends are out in the streets and they need to be quiet. And I was like, honestly,
damn.
He is fucking other men because that is truly like the gays do be talking.
The gays
are out in these streets
talking
about who they fucked and who they're fucking and who's getting it. Like, and I was like, okay, yeah, she's right.
But her face, she goes, oh my God, this is so untrue, this rumor. This is absolutely disgusting. And I was like, again, like, damn. She should have just been like, that's
if anyone
not true.
Spread their legs in their marriage, it's her. And she goes, she's an evil bitch. And then we get like a fucking Aronofsky-esque tracking shot of her walking through the Vida Tequila après party and going, hey Meredith, do you have a second? And she's about to fucking lay the smack down.
To be continued, it says.
They didn't even show a preview of next week, did they?
I think Angie, if she were to accurately dispel this rumor, if that's what she could have just been like, oh my God, that's not true.
Or she could go up to Meredith and she'd be like, how'd you know? And it's also none of your business.
I think in this day and age, like, if you're reacting like that, it's like, okay, then this is true. Even if it's not true and you get defensive, people are gonna be like, oh, it's true. You know what I mean? So just play it cool. I know it's hard to, but I would just be like, oh my God. Like, why? Because he's a hairdresser? Like, that's what I would say. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would be like, I would put it on Meredith to like look bad instead of going, oh my God, no, I'm sick. No, I feel as though I'm going to throw up.
No,
not that.
No.
Anything but that.
I'm curious. I think it is true.
Yeah, I do too.
And I think she knows all about it.
Yeah. It's tough.
I wish she'd just be like, yeah, so I thought everyone knew that.
It's hard.
I want more, but then someone asked Meredith, like, is that the rumor that you were talking about? And she said, no, that's not the rumor I was talking about.
Yes, it was. She's fucking smart. She's a gay son. She knows, like, it's
so
not. So
she said, if she says no, then everyone will think there's even more rumors about them.
Yeah.
You can't outsmart Meredith Marks. You have to wake up really early to get one over on her.
Did I Mandela affect this? Like, I feel like I saw in the trailer for this season, before the show even came out, the season even started, that something about a Greek mafia, like the Greek crime syndicate.
I thought that too.
Why do I think? Maybe I just had a dream about it, but
maybe
I feel
someone on the Patreon said that, because we were like, what do you think the rumor is?
Okay, so maybe that's what she's talking about. Cool. Meredith, but I'm sure she's also like, and he's a faggot. But like, I think Meredith probably like quickly was like, it's not in good taste anymore to like spread rumors like that and have that be scandalous, because we're supposed to be in this like.
Well, also it's rich coming from someone who was like, people are commenting, like speculating on my son's sexuality, and that's so bad. Hypocrite. Yeah.
Anyway,
Meredith is kind of a flop.
She is, and Jen actually was. For all her evilness, she was an ally when she was liking posts saying that Brooks was a twink, because only a true hag would understand the context of that and think it's funny. So that's, to me, I was like, okay, Jen's actually like hangs with gays.
This makes me sad that Jen wasn't around, actually, now that I think about it, because I would have loved her reaction. And like, knowing what went down between her and Angie K last season and getting to see like this moment would have been fun.
Yeah, I think Jen would have been like, who fucking cares? You know what I mean? But
so we're going to be doing a special Halloween episode about like paranormal activity or just like spooky, creepy shit that's happened to our listeners. So if you've had experience with the other side, or just like something crazy that's like Halloweenish and spooky that's happened to you, you can write an email or send a voice note to sexyuniquepodcast@gmail.com.
Try to keep them concise. You know, as we always say, keep them short and sweet, but you know, tell your story. Give us a chance to read your tale on air.
And if you have a mask or something that is as disturbing or on par with the disturbing nature of the pug mask, send pictures in of yourself.
It's going to be hard.
Of a before and after. It's hard to top that, but I feel like there's people out there. You probably have something that's like uncanny or strange, or even like an article of clothing or just something, or like a shoe or a purse that's like weird.
One shoe.
I want to see like what weird things are out there.
Outside your building right now, there's a pair of like loafers.
I know.
And it's a little freaky.
it's like someone disappeared in a bush.
Some size 10 woman's loafers.
I know. I was like, one size too small for me.
But the way they're positioned, it's like someone literally just went.
It's
rapture vibe.
It was the rapture.
It's freaking me out a little because every time I walk by, I'm like, where'd that person go? I'm always wondering that. Like,
whose shoes? Yeah. Whenever I see like shoes somewhere, I'm like, this is the one thing that shouldn't have been left behind.
In my hometown, one time in college, my friends from home and I were all drinking and we all got like blackout, and my friend walked home and my other friend went the same route like an hour later and found her two shoe of my friend and like her wallet and other belongings, and then left him on her porch like a little offering. She'd gone shoeless during her walk home.
Sometimes you gotta go shoeless. Yeah. Oh my God, we have 20 cult members now. This is huge.
Wow.
Lucy from London. Danielle McMillan. Lady Swanchwood gives no fucks. Molotov. Diana Conky.
Is she new?
Diana Conky.
Conky.
Mary. Maisie McKierney. Mike Earhart. Sharon Baum. Realtor. Courtney Kesselman. Carrie Whitmer.
Owsley.
Mariah K. Kathy West. Rochelle Martino. Kit Moore. Nick Sideris. Emily. Kim Lucas. And Jeffrey
Pradama.
Guys, the cult is 20 strong. That feels good for October.
Come join. Come lock yourself up with us.
Yeah, lock yourself into a cult.
Let us lock you.
And by that we mean say your name at the end of episodes and mispronounce it sometimes.
Au revoir.
Bye.